Hi, this is Pat and Bonnie with the Pat Bolger Realty Group. Today I want to talk to you about buyer's agents, other realtors, I suppose. I'm not really sure what the theme is, except that real estate, as I continually tell you people, is a 90-10 business, meaning 10% of the realtors are going to do 90% of the business. Okay, so there's over 8,000 realtors in southeastern Wisconsin, and the top 10% are making a living. Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
And how many homes did you sell this year?
Well,
around
we're probably, I guess me and you, I guess, are probably going to want to sell 60 houses. Somewhere around $30 million in sales, and the average realtor. For one, I don't know what it is this year yet, but last year the average realtor sold 4 houses. Okay, so if they put that in perspective.
Big difference.
Yes. So anyway, so a lot of times is you get into the business and you go work somewhere. I remember the first place I went to work, and you don't know anything. You're green as green can be, right? And the manager says, "Fake it till you make it." Tell everybody you're successful. Just tell them how you know what you're doing, and just walk in that room and right. So, and I think realtors tend to,
believe that or do that.
And then after a while, you ever heard that? After a while, you say something once or twice, and then it becomes a reality and stuff. And so, I think a lot of these people really do think that they, are big successful realtors. Now, in real estate, one of the things that happens is in most other sales, say you're a liquor salesman. You could tell everybody you're the largest liquor salesman in Wisconsin. Nobody would know a difference. Or you're an office supply salesman, or whatever, right? Nobody. But in real estate, everything goes in the MLS. So we have a track record of what we do. All right. So we got a hard copy. So typically, it goes back to about 500, and at around 500, it's not getting to be too much, but just still, if you're in the top 500, you're probably. If you're on the back end of this, you're probably not doing it full time, all right? Or you have a wealthy spouse, okay? If you're in the top 100 or so, you're doing great, right? But anyway, if you're number 8,000, or if you're not even on that list, your spouse probably has a good job, So, or you're independently wealthy. So anyway, why I'm talking about this is that every time we have somebody go look at one of our listings, we give them a form to provide feedback for us, and I just wanted to share some of this with you. Now remember, this is a buyer that is out with a client, and so they have a client, and they, I'm sure, are the expert, right?
So they've made an appointment, and so it's a follow-up from the showing.
Yeah, so they've seen this home. This particular home is one we had on Upper Neshota Lake, and it says, "Is the customer interested in the property?" No. Your opinion of the price, too high. And then they have some comments. They said the house has some potential, but definitely not for that price. It either needs to be gutted or completely torn down. It is far from usable. So that was from Maureen, and Maureen sold at this point in this time. She had 4 houses sold for 2017. So this house was listed at $775,000, and Maureen said it was basically unsellable.
Too much, too high.
Right, way too much.
Can't do it.
Unsellable, should be torn down, gutted, whatever. So this house actually had 2 offers on it, and ended up selling for $760,000. So
in essence, she did a disservice.
Well, if Marine's people, if Marine walked in his home and told him this house is terribly overpriced, it should be gutted or torn down, which I'm sure is probably what happened because she's the expert. She did a disservice to her clients because she clearly didn't understand that the land alone was worth it. The house is basically just being kind of thrown in there. Some of the homes on this lake that were teardowns are going for $1 million for just the land. So this was a value, and a couple of agents were able to see that. Here's another one from Adrian. Adrian looked at one of our homes, and Adrian sold 1 home at this point. Is the customer interested in the property? No. Your opinion of the price? Too high. Comments: home was adorable but too small. Parking spaces were odd. Home was too small and too high of a price. Buyer would be interested if it was in the 400s for a home in that location. But thank you for letting us see it. It was beautiful. Okay, list price is $585 on that house, and we sold it for $585 and closed on it. So again, Adrian, the expert, was clearly wrong. Okay, here's another one. Is by Lisa. Lisa sold 10 homes, 11 homes. So is the customer interested in this property? No. Your customer's opinion, the price too high, price way too high from others that we have seen. Home is a bit quirky, great kitchen, way too small of space, needs back deck or a patio, I'm not sure. For that price, no level needs to be completed. Driveway is a drawback, $440 as is. So this home, of course, is listed at $575 and then sold for $525. So again, Lisa was wrong, too, on that house. And it just kind of goes on and on this. I mean, I'm just sharing a couple of these, and these are just recently. The poor buyers are going through. They're going with this agent. The agents tell them how successful they are and what an expert they are. And in essence, the agent is giving them bad advice, and is not an expert. He's basically a pretender. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I get asked all the time when I go into a home, and people ask me all the time, Pat, what's my house worth? Right? I mean, and I'm in houses all the time, and I should be able to know probably, right? I guess, but I'm not smart enough to know. I have to come back to the office and research it and let them know. So first I have to do a walkthrough, take my notes, come back to the office, and then research it, and then I can kind of make an educated decision based on it. I can't just walk into a house and tell you your house is worth X. And I'm just not that smart. And I just see agents all the time doing that. They seem to think that that's their job, that they know what things are worth, and yet they're selling 2 to 4 or 5, even 10 houses a year, and they think they know what everything is worth, and that's so wrong. A home is worth what a seller is willing to sell it for and a buyer is willing to buy it for. And I'm always constantly surprised both ways about what homes sell for. So
good lesson.
So I think the danger is these poor people get in with an agent and they go through the house and they get effectively taken out of the market. Now that home could have been, they could have loved it, and then based on the feedback from this agent, they could have thought that this was terribly overpriced and it's gone out of there. And sometimes I've even heard an agent say one time that she allows the people to let it sit on the market and come down, and let them get educated. The seller. Well, wait a minute. What if the seller's right and it's not coming down, and all you've done is taken your buyer out of the market for another 3 or 4 months in a hot market? Right. So, now Bonnie, you had an interesting story too about a lady, Ann. Tell us a little bit about that.
Just a local person that went in.
An expert.
An expert went into a person's home and told them that would be a quick sale, easy sale, fast, and that they should probably get an apartment. And
didn't say probably. They said you need to get one. Exactly. You need to go get an apartment because I'm going to sell this right away.
This particular seller did that, and they are out. Well over $27,000, $30,000 by doing it because it didn't sell. It sat on the market. And so, you have to be careful with saying something like that because of this very reason.
And we know it. We looked her up, and she did sell 2 houses this year, and she's been in the business a long time, and she talks even to us like she's an expert. She knows. She tells us how much that house is overpriced. This one's overpriced. On. She knows. She instinctively knows what everything's worth.
So she's not an expert.
Well, but in her mind she is. Yes. And
so I guess that's your point of your story too. Is that
my whole point is that first off, if you're going to go out with somebody, find out how many homes they sell and ask them to prove it to you. And then I guess remember they probably don't know what the homes are always worth, and stuff, unless it's if it's a mid-century ranches in Economowoc, they're all kind of going around X. That's kind of easy. But if they're lake homes or other homes and things like that, it might not be that easy to tell you what they're worth. Now I don't, and people come through and they want to know. They find a house and they want my opinion on the value. I need to go back and do my homework for them and research it, and then I can present them what I found, and they can make their own decisions.
Well, in your process, it's two-prong, at least.
But even with buyers, not just with listings,
Right,
but also
okay.
with the buyers, that we do the same thing. Is we will help you find out what a fair price is for the home, and we will counsel you with it, but we don't tell you what it's worth. I mean, we'll help you come into that decision, and so.
Because so many things change. Inventory, supply, demand, all that
Lots
kind
of stuff comes into play. So anyway, ladies, if I want you to take anything away from here, is remember that there's an old saying in real estate: fake it till you make it. All these realtors are going to tell you how brilliant they are and how successful they are and stuff, and most of them aren't that. We are, unlike most sales businesses, we actually are recordable, and so we can show you what we're really doing. So we can prove it, in other words. So you might want to check out and see, that expert, the so-called expert, are they really qualified to be telling you what these homes are worth if you're out in the car with them? We get a lot nowadays because of the internet. We get a lot of folks, and we do a lot of lake properties, and we're experts on lake properties, and I get a lot of people that are coming out and they've got a really good buyer, and God knows where they came from, how they got them, off the internet somehow, right? Things, and they're clearly not qualified to be showing lake homes and be showing values and stuff, but they've got a great buyer, and we're going to work with them and help them as much as we can. But so if you're a buyer out there or a seller, realtors, we have a hard copy of what we really do. Anyway, so ask. And make us prove it, for God's sakes. And if you're looking to buy or sell a house, call us, because we're really good at this, and so and we will help you, and we'll save you money either way. We'll either make you more money selling your house, or we'll save you money buying a house. I mean, this is what we do. This is Pat and Bonnie with the Pat Bolger Realty Group. Thanks for watching.